Uh, what were some other things? Oh, can I tell you a story? The other day, so Halifax has, there was a news article came out a couple of days ago. Halifax, Nova Scotia, my town, where I currently live, we are now home to, we are now the proud, we can claim this, that we have the third worst traffic in Canada. And I believe it. I believe every word of that. We have the third worst traffic in Canada. There are so many new people who've come to Nova Scotia, come to Halifax. The city's really, really grown in just a few short years. Everybody seems to have brought two cars with them, and they're driving them at exactly the same time. And it's so bad that normally, if I'm going grocery shopping, I go at 9 o'clock in the morning. I drop my daughter off at school and I go straight to the grocery store, and I'll sit in the parking lot until they're open. I will plan my travel around this city for very specific times of day, and I will not deviate from that because it's awful driving. And it's not that I can't drive in traffic. I can. I think I'm a pretty good driver. There are days where I think I'm Mario Andretti. My issue is other people driving. Because the traffic seems to make us all just slightly bonkers. So the other day, I'm driving. Where was I going? I was trying to get some blood work done. That's where I was going. So I was on my way to the blood collection clinic, and I'm at a set of lights. And a guy in the other lane beside me, we're at the front, so like the lights are right there. We're right there at the intersection. And there's like three of us. So there's myself, there's a car in between, there's a car on the far end. The car on the far end wants to turn. He wants to turn left. Now, at this particular time of day, there's a sign that says you can't turn left. Can't turn left at this intersection during these hours because of congestion, because of traffic. You'd never get through. He was going to turn left. The guy beside me, when the light turned green, he starts laying on the horn, telling this guy, you can't turn left. And you can hear the guy yelling. I'm wondering what's going on when he's beeping his horn. So I'm thinking I've done something wrong. You get that feeling like, oh no, what did I do? Well, I didn't do anything wrong, but I can hear this guy yelling, you can't turn left, you can't turn left, you can't turn left. All of a sudden behind me, you hear all the horns honking behind us. I just start moving. Like, I don't think I did anything wrong. I start moving. As I turn into thankfully the blood clinic was right there. I turn in, I look back, and there's cars swerving out of the way. And because people have come out, trying to get out from behind that guy in the middle who is honking, telling that person that they can't turn left. That person turns left, makes it. The guy's still beeping, still yelling at them. Meanwhile, traffic behind them stopped up. People, like I said, people pulling out. They're pulling out in front of other drivers. There's chaos, bedlam, like a scene from Ghostbusters, right? All because this guy in a car in the middle lane, who was supposed to be going forward. His job as a driver was to drive forward, to move forward. Now, I don't know, maybe he's a traffic cop. No idea. But he wasn't in a police car. His job in that car was to drive straight through the intersection when that light went green and to drive straight down the street. His job was to go where he was going. And in that moment, he chose instead to be a police officer. He chose to make sure that person in the left turning lane knew that they weren't allowed to. He was laying down the law. He was laying down the rules, and he just wasn't going to let that person do whatever they wanted to do. And what happened? Bedlam. Like bedlam and chaos happened. I've been listening to and reading a lot of Christian nationalist stuff over the last couple of years. I've been reading a lot of it lately. I've been hearing a lot of it lately. Since this administration's come in, it seems like Christian nationalists feel like they have a license just to go haywire. right? To let the world know how messed up they are, to let the world know how the world needs to drive, to let the world know that that it's just not acceptable how they're moving, how they're living, how they're thinking, how they're worshiping, how they're loving. This kind of thing, it's just not, it's not in our purview as Christians. Our job as Christians is to move. Our job as Christians is to do our job, and that is to take care of folks. Love God with all your heart, mind, soul, and body. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love mercy, justice. Walk humbly. That's our job. Our job is to provide for the least of these. To love radically, to be radically hospitable, to be radically inclusive. Our job is to share the gospel in our actions and in our behaviors and in our deeds in this world. Our job is not to police other people's behavior. It's not our job to force our theological understandings upon others. It's not our job to force our religious understandings upon others. It's not our job to force our music or our styles of worship, our liturgies upon others. It's not our job to force our canon and doctrine upon others. These are, by the way, our biblically stated things. Right? Paul tells us, we're not here to correct the world. It's not our job to tell non-believers how to live. And even there, I would say, if we're talking to the people around us, be very, very careful. As I was thinking about this story, and I was thinking about that idea of policing other people's behaviors to be Christian or not Christian, to make them live like we want them to live, I was thinking, who is it in my life that I tell that they have to do something? Who do I tell people? Like, who are the people that I tell them they have to do this and this and this? My kids? Like, for the first 7-8 years, yeah, you tell your kid to do certain things. And then you ask them to do certain things. And then you converse with them about doing certain things. Now, if it's a dangerous situation, there's no conversation. Get out of the street. Right? But for adults, I don't speak to any adult like that. I don't speak to my parish council like that. I don't speak to the members of my parish like that. I don't speak to the seminary students that come here. I don't speak to my colleagues like that. I don't speak to strangers on the street like that. I don't tell anybody how to live. I try to encourage, I try to share, I try to teach, but I don't police, because it's not my job. If I were to start doing that, what happens? I create bedlam and chaos. I generate through my actions, I generate anger and fear in others. These aren't things that as a Christian I'm supposed to bring out in other people. I'm not supposed to be doing things or saying things that generate anxiety and stress, fear, malice. I'm not supposed to do something or say something or act in a way that's going to make people make bad choices, to do things that they shouldn't do, to do things that will put them in danger or further escalate the danger, like sort of avalanche cascade the danger to others. Our job is to move forward in life, follow Christ to the best of our ability, to encourage others to do the same. To encourage is not the same as to demand. To share the love of God through our words, but much more so through our actions. This is who we are. This is what we're supposed to be about. Otherwise, we're just a distraction. We're just an obstacle. We're just something for people to get angry at. for people to be irritated by, for people to be frustrated by. And as we make people angry and as we irritate people and frustrate people, they see us as an ambassador of our faith, will believe that they are angry and irritated and frustrated at the one we claim to believe in. They'll turn their backs on him. The world does not need religious policemen. The world does not need religious police officers. The world does not need doctrinal inspectors. The world needs people who are loving. Radically, wildly, unendingly loving. Let's be let's be the people that the world needs us to be. Amen.